We don't need ESCCs, GWAT, rubbish. Those things are put in place to convince others. If you know the genesis of the ESCC, the CASA, was meant to convince IMF that we were now serious, we would fight corruption.
All right.
It was not a tool to help us fight corruption. Make it something so painful when you are caught. Let the consequences be so bad. To begin harassing innocent people down there with your M-Pesa account, that is stupid, is immoral, and they will pay for it.
Really?
I warn people who are stealing money meant for ordinary small people who end up even dying from treatable diseases. It is immoral and they will pay for it.
A brand new year, brand new theme here on Business Glide. My name is Richard Mwenja on Herman Manyora's channel. We are truly delighted to have you on this first edition for the year. Now, the general elections is here with us come August 2022, and a number of state officers have already expressed their interest in elective posts. Now, there couldn't be a better time to look at the subject of wealth declaration and lifestyle audit for these very state officers and civil servants. What's the integrity measures on their accumulated wealth this far? Hold on to that thought and allow me welcome on set Kenya's top public scholar and political analyst, the first of his name, Herman Manyora. Sir, welcome.
Thank you, Richard. Just let me welcome Herman Manyora. All those big things, forget. I'm a small man.
You're not a small man. I was in the village for Christmas break. Everyone knows you out here.
But even small people are known.
How was your Christmas? All right, mine was quite well. I'm so grateful. It was fabulous and joyful.
How are the people of Kitale?
They are very awesome.
Moist Bridge in particular?
Yeah.
They are good?
Yeah, they sent me with a whole bunch of greetings for you.
Thank you.
All right. And matching ties, are you endorsing me for the Westlands parliamentary seat now that you have backed out?
Everybody's asking me. Wazee wanaendaga taratibu. Pole.
Really?
Pole.
I see. All right. Today we're talking about matters lifestyle audit and wealth declaration. Minding a number of state officers have expressed their interest in elective posts. Now, from a general standpoint, do you feel many Kenyans, and particularly civil servants, are seeking this post for primitive wealth accumulation?
Of course, you know, the Ndegwa Commission of, I think, 1970 opened us to all these shenanigans you are seeing. It was meant to find out whether we could create some space for public servants, especially civil servants, to participate in politics, which was a good thing. I think it opened, instead of one door, it just broke the wall.
All right.
And people are just doing all manner of things, shamelessly.
All right.
But I think, and then of course this was coming in the heels of primitive accumulation, the race to primitive wealth that our founding fathers had engaged in from 1963.
All right.
Where people try to get as much land as possible without ever pausing to ask themselves, what can a man do with so much?
All right.
Yeah.
A while back, President Uhuru Kenyatta offered himself up for a lifestyle audit. And fast forward 3 years later, it remains an order that never was. Why the low political will in taking this noble idea?
This is just talking about. You know, we need a sort of revolution. Because the people to change things are the same people in the deep of it. How can they change it? Yeah.
All right, we are deep into the politics now that elections are coming in August. And a section of members from Raila's camp are saying Deputy President William Ruto should be subjected to lifestyle audit, going by the millions he's splashing on the campaign trail. Do you feel they are skewing this tool against him for settling scores?
How about them? These are all thieves, and I've told them time without number, to use the cliche. Everybody's a thief. Even those of us who are not stolen, not because we are good people, just maybe we don't have opportunities. This is a society where money is worshipped. When you have a country where people worship money, people go to any length to make money. I want one Kenyan to stand, the one who are calling Ruto a thief, to tell me the little they have, where they got it from. Nobody can tell you.
So they could be using this just to settle political scores?
And it's cheap. Because, if you ask me, does it bother a Kenyan that somebody is a thief when it comes to choosing a leader? If Kenyans were bothered, even in the list, Parliament will be having people like Manyora, not those who are there.
All right, soon we might have you in there. Now, we've seen the Public Officers Ethics Act mandate every civil servant to fill wealth declaration forms every 2 years, which they say they're religiously doing. But why are we still grappling with a high number of cases?
That reminds me, I've not beat the deadline. Mine is still on my desk in the office, which I have not visited for now a month.
But you call yourself a patriot.
It is a formality. It is the usual things I've said before. Stupid people approach public affairs in that manner. Stupid people.
All right.
Yeah. We are basically stupid people. You can't, everything is nothing. Everybody is nobody. I've said this many times. If you want to trace people who could have stolen by way of what they have, be targeted, be forecast. Start with a certain category of people who are most likely to use their office. Now, when you go to a teacher, what can a teacher steal like me? Start with the people who are, for example, collecting our taxes. You come to somebody, he has back taxes amounting to 800 million. He says, we are able to look the other side. Give us 100 million. And the people are doing it, and we are seeing people we know. Start with those ones.
All right.
Then come down. By the time you get a teacher in Luombe village, how can you ask a teacher in Luombe village to fill a form? What can he possibly steal from government?
All right.
So those are basically what stupid people do.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. A section of the civil society have fronted an argument that a third of our total budget that is lost to graft yearly is actually budgeted for when they're making the budget. So it's budgeted corruption. How true is this argument?
It's true. How would you steal that which is not available? Money must be made available for it to be stolen. So it is put in the budget through what people call padding. So you allocate money to an item in the budget, a project. Then you follow up and eat the money through corruption.
All right.
If it was not budgeted for, you can't steal it.
All right.
Yeah.
I see. There is a feeling all over the air that many of these civil servants are trying to use looted money to front, of course, their campaign agenda. Do you feel that more than ever we should probably do it more often, the lifestyle audit on them before now we get to the August elections, all civil servants who are seeking elective posts?
9 out of 10 of every people or people who want to contest will be people who have had access to public coffers and they have stolen from the public. I would be surprised if it is 8 out of 10. I'm sure it's 9 or 10 out of 10. So I don't think mere well declaration and a bit of just talking about it, that can help.
All right.
You need a complete overhaul in the way we do things. First of all, do you know people think government has money which you can't finish, so just eat. That's where the source of the problem. People think government spends. You have heard that argument, that government should not be asked to make money through parastatals and the rest. No, the work of government is to spend money. And they are saying you can go to America. It is true, but they forget these rich nations are in the face of spending because initially they made the money. A country like this one of ours must first make money before people come up with all manner of schemes. Tunaenda Mombasa, tunaenda seminar, Naivasha. Yeah. Before we get to that stage, first of all, let the country make money. Let us have enough resources in this country. Let us have our people live good standards of life. Let's have our children go to good schools. Let's pay our teachers well. Let's have improved health care, free, affordable, free and clean and decent.
All right.
Let's pay our doctors and nurses well. Then we can say government is a spender. Let the government begin to spend. But not now.
Talking about state corporations, you have seen Kenya Power and Lighting Company front the lifestyle audit for all its employees. Should other now state corporations borrow relief from KPLC and undertake this noble cause?
How can you borrow a foolish thing? That one of KPLC is just foolish. It's what stupid people do.
Why are you saying so?
Even within Kenya Power, there are those who are placed strategically from position where they can steal, where they can connive, where they can scheme. But there are innocent workers who leave, board a matatu, go to work, go without lunch, get back to the house at 10 because of jam, who have no opportunity to steal even 1 shilling. Why are you going to those ones? Oh, your M-Pesa account. Look at such a foolishness.
The accounts of their
It's
children.
very bad. This country must not run on stupidity. We must make up our mind as a country that we need to move with brains. So if Kenya Power wants to curb corruption, let them look at areas where corruption is possible. Look at contracting. Look at purchase of cheap transformers. Look at purchase of poles.
Power agreements.
Look at power agreements. That's now the mega thing. Power agreements. Study them. But to begin harassing innocent people down there with your M-Pesa account, that is stupid, is immoral. And they will pay for it. Really? I warn people who are stealing money meant for ordinary small people who end up even dying from treatable diseases. It is immoral and they will pay for it.
All right.
Yeah.
Our senior civil servants have fronted this picture of that the enemy is to fight riches and not poverty. Perhaps why many Kenyan youths are on the front that they don't care whether it's wash, laundered money or clean money, that the enemy is just to have the money in their pockets. Don't you see that we are sleepwalking to national disaster?
It's already a disaster. A country without values, a country where anything goes, it's not a country. A country like in that research carried on by the Daily Nation, where young people, educated young people, Kina Jadel that age, Kina Kim, Kina Simon, Kina you, they were asked, you want money? Yes. You love money? Yes. How about how you get it? It's not important. No. They want the best phone, the best apartment, the best car, the best girl, if they are men. They want everything good. And they don't care how they get it. You can't have a country like that. It's not sustainable.
All right.
Yeah, not sustainable.
Now
the country will just collapse.
Yeah. I see. Now that a section of politicians under Raila's camp are really pressurizing that a lifestyle audit be advanced to Deputy President Ruto, there also a section of DP Ruto's camp who are saying lifestyle audit should go beyond individual personality, say Raila Odinga, and go for this, even to inherited property. Now for all these royal families. Do you
remember
support
Sudi saying, yes, you can audit William Ruto and audit me, but you can also audit my father who was a hand Mutu wa Mkono Moi University.
Yeah, that's the argument.
You should also go up to 1963. We know where they are going. I have said many times, that's not the way to go. It will not help us. We must first of all stop corruption. Stop theft. That's number one. Stop theft of public resources. But even if before you go to number one, you must look at the motivation for stealing. There are many people who love this country. I'm reminded of the story in Chinua Achebe's No Longer at Ease. A nice gentleman, British trained, Obi Okonkwo. Sometimes need can drive you into stealing. Most Kenyans would not even get near theft if the basics of life were offered. That's why I keep saying, let us address the issues of housing, especially in the urban areas. Let us address transport, especially in the urban areas. But more fundamentally, let's make sure there is free, quality health care in this country. Free. Free, quality education. Once you have those things put in place, not many people will have the motivation to steal. And then the next step, or they can even be done together, seal. Make it very difficult for somebody to steal.
I see.
And the third thing is make it something so painful when you are caught. Let the consequences be so bad. And I've said this many times, that if you have been given a job, Richard Mwenja, and you drive home in a new Mercedes-Benz, your father and mother will ask you, our son, you've just barely been employed. How have you raised the money to buy this Mercedes-Benz? Because even if it's a loan, you can't afford to repay. Tell us. No, they are rejoicing and showing the village of my son has come with a Mercedes-Benz. We must get there. When we get there, then all these other stories can get into whatever.
All right, sir. The very last, from an efficiency standpoint, how do you feel agencies tasked with advancing now the lifestyle audit tool have performed? Talk of ESCC, the DCI, the Financial Reporting Center under CBK. How do you feel they have performed?
None of them. I can't assess how they have performed when, in the first place, they were never intended to perform. And naturally, therefore, they have not performed anything. I have said this many times. Let me tell you this quickly.
I see.
People who want to fight corruption and theft of public resources do not create unnecessary bodies. They just fight it. Because what we call corruption here is theft. Arrest these people, let them be prosecuted, and go to jail.
I see.
We don't need ESCCs, GWA, rubbish. Those things are put in place to convince others. If you know the genesis of the ESCC, the CASA, was meant to convince IMF that we were now serious, we would fight corruption.
All right.
It was not a tool to help us fight corruption.
I see.
Yeah.
All right, well, that point by Herman Manyora takes us to the wrap of our conversation today here on Business Glide, touching on lifestyle audit subject as well as wealth declaration for civil servants, especially those who have expressed their interest in elective posts come August this year. And our founder of the week today is none other than Suleiman Janabo in Los Angeles, USA.
From America.
Suleiman Janabo.
Suleiman
Janabo.
Assalamu alaikum. How Jambo. We are happy to hear from you. Thank you very much, Suleiman.
All right. Up next on your screen is none other than the Business Glide African Proverb of the Day.